Good morning, my loves, and welcome back to day 2 of our week of workouts. And today we have got an upper body day, which I'm excited for. I don't know, I woke up super early and energized for today's session, so I'm hoping it goes well. What are we saying for the fit today? Back is out, and I just layered the Gymshark sports bra with the Gymshark backless because sometimes I feel like I need a little bit more support because this sometimes moves and I don't want a nip slip. But with that being said, let's get into our dynamic warm-up. Spend about 5 minutes getting our upper body ready and prepped for the workout. Let's go. Okay, so that is our dynamic warm-up. It is not too extensive, but it gets the job done. And now I feel a bit more ready to go and start my lifts. So in my upper body days, I have a vertical pull, which is my lat pull downs, a horizontal one, which is our cable single arm. And then we've also got a chest press, a shoulder press, and then finishing off with our face pulls to just kind of get everything well-rounded. And just to make sure, like when you're out in your itty-bitty dresses with your back out, it is looking snatched. So this is what we're going to begin with. So we're going to kick things off with one of the exercises that I don't really enjoy too much, but it is in the plan because we're not following the mood, we're following the plan, and it is one of our compound lifts. So it is going to be our chest press, and I use dumbbells for this. I used to use a barbell, but I found that like my imbalances were more obvious with it. Like when I went back to dumbbells, my left arm was just like down here, whilst the right was all the way up there. So that's why I've switched over to dumbbells so I can actually strengthen both sides at once. And I tend to do between 8 to 10 reps of these. Currently, I've been doing 12 kilograms, but in the last couple of weeks, I have progressively overloaded this to 14 kilograms. And today, it didn't feel too bad on 14 kilograms on the first set. So we're going to go through the form and how to set yourself up to be successful and actually feel your chesticles. Because sometimes it is hard to feel your chesticles when doing this exercise. And then I'm just like, well, why the hell am I doing it anyway? Am I doing like my shoulders or anything like that? Like, no, I don't want that for you. So that is why we're going to fix it right now. So let me get in position and then I'll talk you through how to successfully do a chest press. So you're going to start with the weight you feel comfortable working with. So for me right now, it is the 14 kilograms. And then I tend to have my fingers like in the middle of the dumbbell. You want to make sure you've got a strong base. Kick yourself up and then push it up and then just adjust yourself so you're comfortably on the bench. So what we're going to do is just kind of, instead of having them pointing out like this, I feel like when you bring them in just a little bit like this, so they're slightly facing forward, and then you bring it down and then back up. So again, we bring it down, controlled. This is so shaky. And then back up. Now, with your range of motion, it will depend on you, but you do not want it all the way down here. And you also don't want to kind of stop here. So if you find that you're stopping around here, maybe you need to find lighter weights and then go back to the drawing board. So we're going to go again for 6. Use your legs to push. That was so sloppy. 4, 5, 6. Those were not the cleanest reps, so I'm gonna have like a minute break and then go again and show you with clean reps just like the first set, because that needs to be consistent. So our next compound lift is going to be our Lat Pull Downs. For this one, I use gloves again, trying to avoid the calluses as much as I can. Normally I get to do 40 kilograms. I get up to 40 kilograms, but I think I'm going to go do 35 today and go for 12 reps as opposed to 40 for 8 reps. I'm just feeling a little bit weaker today. I don't know why, but let's get into it. So choose whatever attachment you like. I particularly like this one. And then what I want you to do is full exhale, let it pull you all the way up. Relax your shoulders and then pull it down. Same again. Full reset. Relax your shoulders and pull it down. And then we're going to go for 8 of these, just for form. And then for you to gauge the weight. If you're finding that you're yanking it down like this, drop the weight. Girl, drop the weight. So we want controlled reps and down. And then your thumb should always be on the outside. Same placement as where your fingers are when you're targeting your back. I don't know what the science is in that. It just makes sense. And I've lost count, so I'm going to say let's do 2 more. Last one. And relax. You are literally targeting and pulling your elbows towards the sides of your body. That is a major muscle you're going to be targeting with this exercise. So with that being said, let's head over to our horizontal pull, which will be on the table. So next up, we've got our shoulder presses. These will primarily target our delts. I started off with a 6 kilogram weight, which was way too heavy, and I was only managing 6 reps. So then I dropped it down to 4, and that felt a lot more comfortable and a lot more engagement, and I didn't have to use as much momentum. Now this one can be a little bit tricky, positioning and making sure your form and the appropriate muscles are engaged. So my top tip is honestly, do not start too heavy. Start light and build it up, because that's what I was doing. I started a little bit heavy today. Only because of convenience, and I couldn't find the weight I needed. So I was like, fine, I'll do 6. But honestly, that was way too much. So for this one, if you're doing it seated, your bench needs to be at 60 degrees. So actually, does it? I think we need it higher up. Yeah, my bad. Put it at 75 degrees. 60 degrees is wild, but at 75 degrees, and we're going to go through the form right now. You want to have balance, so your feet just slightly outside hip width apart, whatever position you want, and it's comfortable. Get comfortable with the bench, shoulders out. So you don't want them wide out like this, but you don't also want them inside like this. So like a happy medium in between, and then you're just going to push up, then control it back down. I choose to exhale on the way down, and then inhale on the way up. Again, the power should be coming from your legs. So pressing down your feet to the ground as hard as you can will help you push the weight up. And just like that, you've got a successful shoulder press. If you start to feel your form breaking, adjust yourself slightly. But then if it's honestly breaking so bad that you're not even feeling it in the shoulders, that is when you rest. I would rather you do at least 5 to 6 good reps than 10 broken reps when you're struggling and the form is off. That is one thing I'll always say as a personal trainer to my clients. I would rather you give me at least 5 good reps and then we take a break and then go again, because then you will build up the strength and the momentum over time. So yeah, let's get into our next exercise. So for our final exercise, we have got face pulls. I prefer a separate handle to this. I'll attach it somewhere on the screen, but this is what is available for me right now. It still does the job, but I feel like the other handle or attachments do the muscle contraction a lot better, and I feel the muscles work more comfortably. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just prefer that one. So basically for the face pulls, you kind of want to start with the cable just slightly above your head, and then when you're pulling it, you kind of want that flex emoji and your thumbs kind of facing in. So that's kind of the form and the cues I would give for this one. You want to kind of have a slight lean back for comfortability. Let me just show you, and then when we're pulling, and I lean slight back, so not upright, but you're leaning slightly back. Your thumbs are turned in, and then when you're pulling in, sort of like that. Same again with your breathing. Inhale on the way in, exhale on the way down. And this is our lighter exercise because it's our last one. So we're going to rep at least 12 to 15 reps. Let the full extension. 5. Let your mid to upper back do the work. 6. 7. 8. And just like that, that is my full upper body day routine done and dusted. I am literally about to go on the Stairmaster right now. I hope you've enjoyed the workout and you've got a nice little pump. Any questions you have, leave them down below in the comment section or DM me on Instagram and TikTok and I'll be sure to help. And yeah, that is it. I will catch you tomorrow when we're having our at-home Pilates by Izzy day. I am not looking forward to it, but it should be fun.